So anyway, the contract.
Oh, yeah. So, it didn't really faze me. I was kind of like, oh, it is what it is. This is the price to have this experience, so do it. Yeah.
Right. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, it's the universe talking. So.
Oh, my God.
It's just the voicemail. Anyway, so it was the universe.
It was the universe. The universe called, and they said, sign it.
Yeah, they said sign it and go for it, right?
Yeah.
Cheers. So you didn't think about, the contract didn't intimidate you, you didn't think that they were going to treat you like crap,
No.
blah, 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 blah.
And like I said, I also didn't think about all the money they were going to make off me afterward. I was offered a pretty lucrative job, like right after it.
Right.
And I wasn't allowed to take it because the contract said it would have competed with The Biggest Loser, and they were using my face to promote The Biggest Loser Diet Club. And this would have been another online like diet and exercise website.
Right, so you would have taken away from their
So I wasn't allowed to
billions.
do it, whereas that would have given me a salary, whereas The Biggest Loser didn't have to pay me to keep using my face to promote.
Well, in my personal experience, I don't know what the contract is for your show.
Yeah. Oh.
I love it. Turn it off. Just hit that little red button and shut the sucker off.
Mine's perpetually on silent.
Well, I'm on the backup emergency signal.
You're a better woman than me, because
Poor
let me tell
sweetie.
you, I couldn't take it.
I can't even believe it. You know how we got a technology addict? I'm like, dee, dee, dee. And so the first thing I do I broke my phone, right? So the first thing I do with the little Nokia phone is I touch the screen.
Did you? That was
Could
me.
you get any more blonde? What is wrong with this?
I
Oh, it's got
know.
buttons. Yeah, it's got buttons.
When I drop my iPhone in the toilet and I have my little Go phone for a day, there's a picture of me and I'm just like, I'm so sad.
Does this thing do smoke signals? What does this thing even do? Yeah, I'm like, son, figure this out. He's like, what is it? It's crap. Get a new one.
It's crap. Get a new one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay,
Get
wow.
a new smartphone now.
Yeah, dumb, stupid bitch. Okay. Yeah, my shoes are cute. Well, okay, so in my experience with the contract like tied you up for a period of time. So, the very first one, but for me, the one line that that I didn't like, and I don't know if it's in that contract. So what it had done was like tied you up, like you couldn't show yourself on any media, you couldn't do any interviews, you couldn't be on the radio, you couldn't be in a newspaper, you didn't do nothing. They held you, and you had to be made readily available for them to run you off here, run you off there, fly your father. It didn't matter if you had a bricks and mortar job. It didn't matter if you had a family. It didn't matter whatever. Hey, you're under contract.
Yep.
Time to go, bitch. Pack your bag. Blah, blah, blah. And it didn't discuss financial compensation.
It did not.
And then it went to this other paragraph like 3 pages later where you signed that said, which I found really enlightening. I'm blind, but I can read. But what I found was enlightening was that it also stated that if anything were to become of my appearance, so if I were to be bigger and better and shinier and more, and and they get your own show, so I become the new New Yorker, motherfucker, I'll kill you now. Give me your I'll whoop ass on this thing. Is that how you say it? Anyway, with the big clock.
With the big clock.
Yeah, because that's all us girls need to see is our biological clock ticking. But anyhow, but that they could use this original contract for anything you ever did. So are you kidding me? Like I become super famous and really big and I need my own plane, but you're going to pay me nothing because it doesn't even state that. But universally and perpetually.
Perpetuity.
Yeah.
Perpetuity.
Forever and then some. So even on the moon.
Yep.
Anywhere in the universe.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, it does say that too.
Right. So when did that contract expire?
I don't think it has.
Is there no expiration date on that?
Well, for 1 year, there were like even tighter parameters, but my little contract has that word perpetuity in it too. So I think there are pieces of my life story. One of the best parts about my contract is it gave them the right to fictionalize my life story. So if they wanted to say that my mom was a crack whore that left me in a gutter somewhere, and then
they could say that, you signed it away.
And I signed it away.
Did they have anything in there about dubbing you or whatever?
I'd have to go back and look. I'm not sure. They probably did.
Because I read all 68 pages of mine.
Yeah.
And that lovely little package, and it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That it said that they could dub anything you said. So throughout the couple hours we've been filming, maybe you said something over here, but it would look better over there.
They did that to me.
And they could chop and cut and paste.
They did that to me in one episode.
Really?
Yeah, and if you pay close attention, which nobody pays close attention.
Oh, I do.
You can tell that it was done because when they cut for me at one point and then to the other point, I'm wearing my glasses and then I'm not wearing my glasses. So you could tell that what I said was about somebody
Sneaky.
else. And then actually they did it to me twice, because another time I'm in a confessional, I'm giving a confessional, and I'm talking about one girl, and I'm being a bitch because
Of
whatever.
course.
And I'm saying to
She's
the effective.
consistently one.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is her and I are gonna be best friends. We'll trade friendship bracelets and braid each other's hair.
Ooh.
And they made it look like I was actually talking about another girl who was very nice. So her entire family, when I met them at the finale, the nice girl's family was like, "Oh, we saw what you said about," and I was like, "That actually wasn't about your daughter. I thought your daughter was amazing," and so that was kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah, but they did that a couple times.
Right, because I don't think that people really that are out there watching don't really think about that. They think that, oh, you have this rosy cozy agreement, and you're flying around, you're eating steak the whole time.
They do, yeah.
And you know, everywhere you go, it's a red carpet.
No,
and
we traveled in like the worst church vans you've ever seen, and we had to pack our own lunches in these coolers that were
Where'd
like.
the food come from?
The food. So the food in the kitchen, we had to make our own grocery.
Come on, it's all about food.
Yeah, we had to make our own grocery lists. But, okay, the weird thing about it is you end up being kind of spoiled, but in a demented way by the end.
Sure.
Because you're not allowed to do anything for yourself. You're not allowed to go to the grocery store. You're not allowed to leave the ranch. You're not allowed to do any of that. So production assistants do everything.
Oh, you're not allowed. It's a set. Hello.
You're not allowed to leave. And so by the end of like 3-4 months that you're there, like my dad put my ass right in place when I got home. I get home immediately to film my homecoming. And I see my whole family.
Would you go to the store and get me something? And would you make me this? Would you do
No,
that? Blah, blah, blah.
I put my luggage down and waited for somebody to carry that shit to a room.
Well, what's the matter with that? I do that all the time.
Because-
Please. And that luggage is just my face, and that one's my shoes, and that one's my panties. And if you don't haul them into my room,
We weren't allowed
you're grounded.
We weren't allowed to do that on the set, like take our stuff where we wanted to go, because there were places we couldn't go. And my dad was like, are you shitting me, kind of Cole? Like, really?
Yeah.
Go pick up your
Welcome
shit.
home, bitch. Do your shit now. Yeah.
Yeah, because you get trapped. But near the end, you end up, because you don't have your freedom, you end up, I think, much like adolescence, you rebel in little weird ways. At one point,
Do you feel that you were dehumanized then? Because what's starting to happen is some humanization is taken away from you.
yes,
And you start to react to that.
yes, exactly. You're not a person, you're a character.
Sure. Commodity.
Exactly. And so, like, by the end, you just start to do.
Actually, you're a content producer.
Yeah, yes.
All you're doing is making content.
Exactly.
Content is a commodity, and away you go.
And you don't rebel in big ways because you're too afraid. You've been so brainwashed at this point that
Sure.
everybody keeps telling you this is the best opportunity you've ever had in your life. You don't want to screw it up, and,
Right.
and you start to believe that bullshit. You know.
Well, hello. I mean, come on. It's called brainwashing.
Well, I had the doctor at one point when they finally let us go see him again at his office. I went with Heather, who had to get steroid shots in her knees. She was so
Owie.
beat up.
Yeah.
And he said, "Why are you getting these?" And he's like, "You just need to stop working out and you can rest." And she
Well, you
was,
can't.
Thank you. And she said, "I can't. I'm 3 weeks out to the end. I just want to make it to the end." And we start talking to him about how, we made it this far, we got to do it. And he goes, "Sweethearts, you two have Stockholms. You have identified with your captors." He's like, "I'm telling you right now."
So, in all of the interviews that you did that said that this show was abusive and the show triggered all this stuff on you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Was this doctor paid for by the show, or was this doctor an independent doctor?
I don't know who pays him, but I
Yep.
do know that I'm part of his journal research, and he wrote a book about all of us, so we all have our motivations.
So, sure. So he was roped into it somehow. You don't know. You
I
were
don't
just
know.
blah, 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 blah.
I don't know.
So the answer to it is you don't know.
I don't.
But you had a doctor that had some sense, obviously.
Yeah, we just didn't have access to him. The unique
Well,
thing about
you went there once.
the unique thing about my season is that the 36 that went home
Mhm.
had him. He stayed in touch with them every week. He did conference calls. He did their diet. He did everything. And if you look at them health-wise, they did better than us on the show.
So was it a different doctor then because you were there longer?
Same doctor, it's just that you can't leave the ranch, you can't call anybody, you can't talk to anybody, and so we literally saw him like twice. He's the same doctor that once things got really bad when I got home, and then my family staged an intervention and tried to work me back towards...
Take me to really bad. What was really
Sure.
bad?
Really bad was...
I mean, we've seen the interviews,
Sure.
but now we're here in the back room hanging out.
Really
What was
bad,
really bad?
was overtraining so much that I was sleeping 3 hours a night.
Okay.
My period completely stopped.
Ooh.
My hair started to fall out.
Oh, I know what her hair's like.
Yeah, my hair started
There's
to fall
some
out.
permanent damage there.
I know,
mean,
it's
thin.
bad. It's really thin now.
Endocrine system, something you don't mess with.
I know. And I was covered in bruises, literally covered in bruises, and I had black circles under my eyes. I was hiding it. I was hiding it really well.
You think?
I was, because I was living in New Hampshire at the time. They would fly me back up to Alaska to shoot the at-home stuff. And so I met my husband, my boyfriend at the time, during the course of the filming, and so he'd see me every month that I flew back up.
Sure.
And when I got off the plane,
You look like hell.
He saw me.
Flying does that to me anyway, but you know, right.
He saw me and he
not
called,
while at fat camp.
He called my parents. He called my parents. He called my best friend. Everybody sat down and they were like.
Did at any time during that part, and they're doing an intervention with you?
Yeah.
Did you go to an independent doctor? So now you're away from the show.
I did
on your
when they intervened.
And you know, but not until they intervened.
Not until my family intervened.
What was it that you think that made you not value yourself as a human, even though you're under this contract, that you wouldn't go to a doctor when you feared for your health?
Because I didn't fear for my health at that point. I was so far into the competition that my health didn't mean shit. The number on the scale meant something.
So health just went poof.
Oh
goodbye.
yeah, health was not a concern at all.
Do you accept any responsibility for that?
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. I thought, and I feel guilty about it, and I feel shitty about it because I thought I was a stronger person than that. I liked myself when I went on that show. I liked where I was. I liked who I was. I still like who I am.
Well, yeah, we've said that repeatedly. That's obvious.
Right, yeah, I know.
We're great.
I am.
Yeah.
I am who I am. Either fucking love me or fucking hate me. Just
that's
pick
all
one.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly thought that I was the type of person that would never be. That was strong enough that I wouldn't succumb to bullshit like this.
Oh, sure.
I really thought that about myself.
Bionic woman.
I did.
None at all.
I really thought that about myself, and I lost track of who I was in between being told.
Because you forgot you were human.
I did.
We're all human. Gotta take a shit. Gotta pee. Get stinky.
Thank you.
You know.
And being told how lucky I was all the time, and it's so funny. I tried so hard to keep perspective. I even got a tattoo to remind. Like ridiculous, right? But that's what I do. And it says
It
this.
doesn't look ridiculous.
Well, not the tattoo, but it says. It says this too shall pass.
Ah.
And it was to remind me. I got it literally the weekend like I got off that ranch. My father took me. And I got it to remind me that everybody kissing my ass and telling me how fucking amazing I was and how wonderful I was, and it would be gone.
Give me the hook or the ovation.
Thank
when
you.
the ovation stops and nobody gives you the hook, they throw the brick at you.
Yes.
You know, and then nobody gives a shit, and instead of being a coulda, woulda, shoulda, you're a has-been.
Thank you. And it was to remind me that I'm not anywhere near as fucking important as all these assholes are telling me I am right now.
That you are.
That they're pretending I am.
Because they're feeding into this thing because you forgot you were a human being,
yeah.
but they haven't.
Yeah.
They're feeding this thing that all human beings have. And do you know what it's called? Ego!
Exactly.
Yes.
And it tried to remind me to keep my ego in check. It was also there to remind me that, because I was beat to shit. I was on 2,400 milligrams of Motrin a day. I'm lucky I don't have an
that's not even good for your liver.
No, I'm lucky.
Read the back of the bottle.
The permanent damage I'm sure that I have. Like, call me when I'm like 60 and I'm horrible.
So
yeah.
That being said.
Yeah.
Do you regret letting yourself go?
Oh, hell yeah.
Not intervene. So you wouldn't do that now. So that's changed.
You mean do I regret getting heavy?
No. Do you regret not valuing yourself and your health during this period of your life?
Hell yeah.
Even though it was a show.
Yep. I regret it. I regretted it the most. Oh, this is a rough one.
Go ahead.
I regretted it the most when I was pregnant with my son.
What happened?
I was so fucked in the head. That right after I got pregnant, I was in the best shape of my life. I was running 6 miles a day, 5 days a week, lifting.
Sure.
So I thought I'll just work out the whole time I'm pregnant. Things didn't work out that way. I had a lot of trouble with him. We almost lost him twice.
Yeah?
Yeah. And
you're kicking yourself the whole time.
Because I was still so fucked in the head.
Right.
That the weight gain from getting pregnant messed me up so bad, even knowing that I was
So you didn't see yourself as pregnant, you saw yourself as fat.
Yeah, I don't think I comprehended that I had another life depending on me yet. I was so messed up that even though I'd been told I needed to rest and I needed to sit, and I needed to actually eat carbs, which I hadn't done for like 2 years.
Right. Body has to have them.
I felt so guilty not working out, like I was doing something wrong, that even though we'd already bled, like I say we, because him and I.
It's we.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's a human being, honey.
Even though we'd already.
It's human egg, human sperm. It's not random. So
yeah.
I have my own opinion there.
Okay, so
I'm an opinionated woman.
Shocker. So I had to go to the hospital because I started to bleed. I was in the emergency room.
Wow.
And they're like, you need to calm down. But I was so fucking crazy about gaining weight that even after that, I got my happy ass up and I went for a fucking run.
Wow.
I made it about a mile, 2 miles, and
Pregnant.
started throwing up violently
And bleeding.
and bleeding, and ended up back in the emergency room. At which point, my family sat me down, specifically my husband, and said, "Listen the fuck up, bitch.
Good.
You are
I like your husband.
you are so fucking crazy right now that I'm willing to accept, a little bit when you put yourself at risk and you fuck your own.
It's not about you now, bitch. You're pregnant.
Exactly.
With my baby.
That was exactly what it was.
One of the
like,
things
that's
that
my kid.
A lot of things I think that people forget in that I'm a parent. I have 3 beautiful boys, and I think that a lot of people forget the other parent. Just because I don't have a womb, and just because I don't have the ovaries, and just because all that kind of stuff doesn't mean I don't have that connection with this little life all throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the birthing, or the, in utero, and all that fun stuff that goes on, and every minute of the whole day, I didn't hell, I gained it. You ruined my figure, brat. Just so we're clear, I gained lots of weight. You went, stick. Absolutely twig till then. If it's all about the weight, you ruined it for me. But I love you. I love you all. I love both of you, all 3 of you, none of you. It's all your fault. You know what I mean? But I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, all along there's this connection from the other person. And so you really have to give him kudos because he intervened on behalf of his child.
He did.
What a good daddy.
He did.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how are you with the guilt of that?
I'm better now. Now that
Yum, yeah, we're good with it.
Mom guilt's a bitch. Mom guilt's like no other guilt on the planet,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Well, and that could go even further, parent guilt, but mom.
Yes, exactly.
I think what's really scary to me in our culture today, from my perspective, is that we dump this shit on females about being a mom, and it pisses me off because I think it's sexist. We take all this stuff, you gotta carry that kid, and you disappear, and you lose Kai again,
Yep.
and you become mom and incubator
That was rough.
and tits and
That
all
was
these
rough.
things, and eat up, and no, I'm gonna sleep here, but you have to get up at 4 a.m, and you have to change a shitty vomit in the diaper and the blah blah blah. And for me, I was an active parent the whole time, good or bad.
Yeah.
I was there. I was a stay-at-home dad, la da da da, and I did all that stuff. So I have a different individualized perspective, and I know there's other people that have tried that as well. But they dump all this shit on you. Did you feel that pressure?
I felt, I'm really lucky. My husband is an amazing dad. He really is, and he at the beginning more so he took initiative, and now that our son is 2, I find that the mom guilt maybe it's in my head and it's not so much him, but to get him to do stuff I have to physically leave, which is frustrating. It's kind of frustrating.
Well, you're the mom. It's your job, and you're stuck with a kid for the rest of your life. I mean, it's your job to do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. It starts becoming gender identified roles.
Yeah.
God, imagine that in America.
Shocker.
Yeah. You're the boy. Here's your script. You're the girl. Here's your script. It's all done. Fuzzy worms are over.
Yeah.
Oh wait. There's 18 years left. Whoopsie boo. That wasn't in the brochure. Yeah.
I had a really
Do they
really
tell you
hard
that in
time.
church?
Yeah, I know they don't share that with you when you get pregnant. I had a really hard time right after I had him, and I don't know how many people can relate to this, but I had a really good girlfriend. That right after I had him, I called her and I was like, my life's gone. Nobody ever tells you that you need to take the time to mourn the life you had. It's all about this big celebration of a child.
Oh, God.
But nobody
Bless
tells you
the fact
need
that
to mourn.
You gotta grieve it.
You have
That's
to grieve the life
All
you
of
had
a sudden
before.
I lose this identity and I become whoever's dad or whoever's parent or, whoever's blah, 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 blah. And what happened to Friday night? I mean, what happened to shoe shopping?
Thank you.
Right now.
Nobody ever tells you
Right.
that it's acceptable to be sad about the fact that you can't sleep till noon.
Because you're a human being.
That you can't sleep till noon on a Sunday and then go get coffee and then lay in bed and read Post Secret and then have sex all fucking day and then nap some more.
Right.
You can't do it anymore.
Right, because now you're a parent. You've transcended. You've moved on. And you transcended that, and now you're a parent. And parental roles.
Yeah. And nobody tells you that it's acceptable to be sad about that.
Right.
That it doesn't take away from the joy of having a child to be
No,
sad
or
about
how
the fact
important
that
it
I
is,
can't lay in bed and eat croissants and then get laid and then sleep some and then maybe have some coffee and get laid again and do that all day Sunday.
Listen to her. She's a horny bitch.
And it's funny, I complained to I voiced that opinion to my mother and she goes, oh, it's okay, sweetie, you can in another 16 years. Only 16 fucking years.
Yeah. Right, when I won't even care.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my God,
you hear that creaking? It's not the bed. It's not the bed making the just going, it's me trying to get off of the bed so that I can get over there to have sex with you. Yeah,
Right?
you hear that rattling? You hear that rattling? That vibrating? The vibrating's not the vibrator, honey. It's my pacemaker blowing out. Yeah, I'm with you.
Exactly.
Because all of a sudden you're not a human being anymore. You're a parent.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that you value your child. I mean, that's the thing.
And I think a lot of people think that voicing that means you're taking away from the fact that you value
Or
your
if you're, or what if your kids hear that? Oh my God! I think one of the things you do as a parent is treat your kids as human beings, and you put it into perspective. There were all these conversations that I had, or have, because it's ongoing. Parenting is ongoing. That I try to keep it in perspective of the age of the child. So, like I try to talk in Walt Disney voice when they're Walt Disney time, and you try to talk in motherfucker, whoop your ass when they're 18. Right, when they're 3.
Yeah, that's appropriate for a 2-year-old.
I will take you out of this world. Wait, why is that wrong? Why is that wrong?
I'm really lucky. My son's first word wasn't fuck. I'm very lucky. Yeah.
I'm a shock.
I know. Surprise.
Amazing.
Well, it's funny. I grew up in a household where my parents spoke wherever they wanted to, and there was a very clear distinction
I grew up in
between.
a bar. Yeah, I'm with you.
That is how a child speaks, and that's how an adult speaks. And it's
Right.
so funny because I've had friends like, "Oh, you better clean that up and not say it around him." And I was like, "No. He will know who is the child and who is the adult, and what is acceptable behavior." And they're just shocked by that.
I think what's really funny is, it's so funny that everybody has these Norman Rockwell-esque pictures generationally, or they have, the Osbournes, or they have whatever as their
30 seconds after the camera goes off, people are like, "Fuck you!
Yeah.
Fuck you
Yeah,
too!
yeah,
I don't
right,
want
right,
your
right.
checks mixed."
Yeah, I hate you.
Yeah.
You bastard, go to your room.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so they have all these ideas of it, right? And they're just this wreck. And then they all want to play when the light's on that it's all this fabulous little family.
Matching
and then people get
sweaters.
screwed in the end. It's really the kids because what's their perspective?
Yeah.
They don't have a realistic perspective. So I think that. So would you say you're a good mom?
Oof. I have my days.
You have
Like
your
everybody
days.
else.
I didn't say perfect mom.
Oh, okay.
I said good mom.
Yeah, I think so. If my kid is a reflection of my parenting ability, then hell yeah, I'm a damn good mom. My kid's a damn good kid.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you finding challenging about being a mom and having this history of this show?
Protecting him.
That's number one.
Number one, protecting him.
So he's 16 years old.
Oh yeah.
And he gets down the road.
Poor bastard.
And he
Poor
looks
kid.
at all this crap and he goes,
Poor kid.
who the hell? That's where I came from. You people don't understand what I went through. I mean,
just feel like his oh God, I hope his friends don't torture him too badly.
yeah.
That's it. That's all I worry about. Like other kids just torturing him about, I go in his daycare now even. As a matter of fact, literally yesterday I picked him up at daycare and there was another mom in there picking up her kids and she turns and she looks, "Oh my God, are you that?" "Yes, I am. I'd like to just get my son and go now, please."
Because you stop being private citizen, you're like, yeah.
And she was good. She reeled it in after she had her initial "oh my God" moment,
Right.
And then she kind of reeled it in and didn't say anything.
She grew up.
Yeah.
She grew up
And
at
so
daycare.
even that, and by the time he's old enough to, I feel more empathy for the contestants that have children that are already of the age of knowing what's going on when they did the show.
Right.
Yeah, as opposed to Porks. By the time Porks gets old enough, hopefully it'll have run its course, or maybe it'll become something so positive that it doesn't matter.
Right. No crystal ball here, sweetie.
Yeah.
Can't Google that.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna ask my friend Google.
Yeah. Hi, Miss Google. What will I look like in 20 years?
Yeah.
I mean,
so by the time he's cognizant of what happened, hopefully it'll be a different scene.
So, now that you're all here where you are, what are your plans for, this is a good question that I always watch these interviews ask you.
Yeah.
So now that you're learning, about repercussions in future plans with your family. Your husband and your son, what are your plans with them? You're going to work on your life and you guys are going to grow up together and grow old. He's going to go to school.
My family's very unique. I keep a lot of how my family functions to myself.
Oh, that's true. That's respectful.
My immediate family knows what's going on in my situation. I don't hide anything per
I'm with
se. I
you.
don't hide who I am. I don't hide what we do. We have a very unique relationship.
But you make plans for the future, and like any normal family, you're just going to sit around all day long and woo. You're going to grow up together.
Our plans for the future right now are very fluid. Actually, things are very fluid. We make a damn good partnership in raising that kid.
So that's going to be your focus.
Yes, we're a damn good partnership in raising that kid. Right now, things are kind of, I said I'd be honest here. They're in flux romantically. They're also in flux financially and career wise, which is probably why they're in flux romantically.
Oh sure, money goes out the front door and love goes out the back, or how's that work, right? I mean, my grandmother said that for a reason. So I mean, you're human.
Yeah, I'm like more so than.
Are you guys friends?
Yeah, we are. There's mutual respect there. Beyond whatever stars in my eyes, being madly in love with somebody or, wanting to jump somebody's bones, there's a good, solid respect for him. He's an amazing
Right, he's the
man.
father of your child.
Yeah, exactly. There's solid respect there. There will always be solid respect there. I think what we say a lot of times, which might shock people, but whatever, eat a dick, my life is my life, is that...
That'll be my bumper sticker. I'm going to make that a bumper sticker, I swear to God. Or t-shirt. Yeah.
We don't have any objections to growing old together, being the 80-year-old that's like, let me change your diaper, because we know each other that well. We're just not ready to grow old right now.
But right now you're day-to-day.
We're not ready to grow old.
I think that's healthier, personally. I think that sometimes the cart gets way out there in front of the horse forgets what it's pulling.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're just one day at a time.
Or the horse drops dead and grows old and everything's rotten in the cart, one of the two.
One or the other. I like to think that we have a, emotions run the way they run, so if people get feelings get hurt sometimes.
Do you have a passionate relationship?
We did. Right now, I think it's more of a partnership than there was an intense passion when we got together. I would have ripped my heart out and given it to him if he asked for it, which I did. I had a son.
Right.
And because he really, really wanted a child, I was kind of indifferent, and I would have given him. I would have cut off my arm for him, anything he wanted. Now it's more of a real solid, we've got career goals, we've got a child we're raising, let's handle it. And I think that. So
that sacrificed some of the romance, the passion.
It definitely did.
And nobody puts that. See, in my experience, I think what's really funny is that when a lot of people will focus on things like sexuality and sex, and the heat of it, and the sex of it, and the fun of it, and the blah 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 blah, and they forget the other 23 hours and 45 minutes of the day. And if you're lucky, the other 23 hours of the day, or maybe 20 hours, maybe 3 hours, or however you divide it up. Yeah. And then you get down the road and you forget that, do I even like this person that's here?
And we're lucky. We're definitely friends. We're
that's
definitely
good.
friends. So, and I think that, it is what it is. We'll figure it out.
That's good. That's all you're going to have to do.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Right on. So there is somebody out there on YouTube watching us being nutty today.
Yeah.
Okay. Hair down. They're watching us doing our thing.
Yeah.
And they're considering going on a reality show. And they've got all this information and they're making an educated decision.
Okay.
And they said to you, Kai, what would you say to me?
I would say choose the one with the biggest monetary prize. Because if you're going to sacrifice all that, you might as well do it for damn good money.
That a girl. She's getting into the business now. Yeah. Hang out with us queens, she learned all about the money.
I would look for something that pays $1 million if you're going to do it. And if you're going to do it, understand that you're giving up your privacy not just for the time that the show airs,
but she's growing up.
For an extended period of time afterwards. You are not going to be a private person. Get a fucking agent before you go on the show and keep that shit to yourself.
Hey.
Yeah, and because your contract will say you're not allowed to. Yeah. Also have a marketing strategy planned for what you want to do when you get off the show.
Is there a lifespan?
Yeah, don't listen.
Have a plan.
Yeah, don't listen to the bullshit about how they're going to handle it for you. Have a marketing plan in place for when you're done. Also, depending on what reality TV show you choose, choose it based on what you want to do in your future afterwards. I keep getting drawn back into weight loss and health goals and stuff like that. If I'd chosen Survivor, it probably would have been a completely different route.
You'd be up on McKinley running all around, girl.
Something different than what I do now. So make sure it's in focus for what your long-term goals are for your future. Like if you really, really, really want to be, commercial fisherman, I wouldn't go on, it's common sense, don't go on America's Next Top Chef just because you're really good in the kitchen, because that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, and if it makes you unhappy.
Well, once the audience identifies you as this character, that's all you're going to be.
That's who you are. And be prepared to deal with a lot of criticism from assholes that don't know who you are, and just let it bounce the hell off you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. That's.
I think that's sound advice.
Yeah.
I think we'll end there today. Thank you
Okay.
so
You're welcome.
much. I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. We gotta do your hair.